Hi.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm good. You?
I'm good.
Awesome.
We're here.
All right. So here we are, episode 4.
Back at the studio.
Dun dun dun. And today one of the things we're going to talk about is lace.
Yes.
But first, I think we want to say thank you to
yes, our viewers.
all our people who are watching.
Yes, and commenting. It's just amazing. I just didn't think people would be watching us.
I know. We're sitting here in our empty house and we're like talking to ourselves. But then people comment and ask questions. We're like, oh my gosh, people watch.
Pay attention. Yeah, it's really weird. Yeah, people in the shop have been coming in and saying, oh, hi, Pepper.
I know.
Where's
Isn't that
Ginger?
So it's super fun. So say hi to us or ask us questions. It's really exciting.
Yeah, on Ravelry or on YouTube in the video.
Yeah.
You know, or post.
Instagram even.
Yep.
You can comment or like. And then the Ravelry group, in case we neglect to mention, is Ginger and Pepper Yarncast.
Yeah.
And that's where we keep all the information for the knit-alongs, crochet-alongs. You can ask questions. Anything you want. You can start your own thread there if you want something to talk about.
Yep.
So.
Yep.
All right. Well, cool. Let's see. The first thing we want to say besides thank you is I am Kim, also known as Ginger. I almost forgot.
And I am Jocelyn, also known as Pepper.
So here we are.
Yay!
All right, so let's see. So one of the first things we want to do is announce our winner to our late to the party crochet knit along that we had.
With so many entrants.
I know. We did. We had some socks and some hats.
Yeah.
So we've got, besides ourselves, because we did finish ours.
We did.
But we
sort
don't
of.
count.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I didn't block mine yet. I'm afraid to block it. We'll get to that. The thing is so big.
So we have, so what we did is we assigned everybody a number who put their pictures in the finished objects thread, and
Right.
we're going to roll a dice.
That's about as random as you can get.
I know. And so if the numbers are 2, 4, 5, and 6, and so if it lands on one of those, then that's the winner.
That's the winner.
All
First
right,
time.
ready?
Go.
Ah, 6! Yay! So that is Yarny Pants.
Yay.
And she made some amazing socks with really intricate cables and some beads and
Right.
things. And it's part of the Sock Madness competition.
Fun. Yeah.
Yeah, so
That's,
that
that's
was-
really scary, that what they do.
She told me about it. She's a customer at the shop, and she told me about it on Sunday. And I still cannot get my head around what it is.
Yeah, you have
so.
to, there's specifications on size and how much time you have, and you have to beat, you're in your, I don't know.
It's like March
crazy.
Madness based, the basketball
It's a yarn against.
Yeah.
Basically what it is, a knit against.
And she says there's
Yeah.
brackets and...
Oh my gosh.
So
and you
anyways.
get eliminated for each,
And it's like
thing.
the 11th year on Ravelry or something.
It's crazy.
I know,
You guys
so
are
anyways.
amazing. Wow.
I know.
So just to remind you, the prizes are
The
little
chatelaine,
chatelaine.
yes.
And then I haven't, this week, I'll get to it, I swear. This is my little cable...
Oh, the cable
cozy
keeper.
Cable keeper, right?
Right.
And this is the fabric I found that would match that thing. So it's like got stars and little gold fabric.
Cute.
So I think that'll
Yeah.
go well.
And then we have a little set of stitch markers too.
Oh yeah.
So we will get those to you, Miss Yarny Pants.
Yay!
Good,
Congratulations.
Good job. Congratulations.
Yes.
That's exciting.
Yay!
All right.
Well, if you missed our late to the party, we're going to start another crochet knit along.
That's right. And we are going to start it as of the
The
day you see this.
Yes, exactly.
The day
Whatever.
this- The day this airs, which will be like mid-June.
Yeah, something like that.
Because today's June 7th, but it takes us a little while
To
sometimes
get everything going.
So what's our theme?
It is lace.
Oh, okay.
Same as the theme as this episode.
Knit or crochet.
Yep.
You can do your lace. And
What are you making?
I am making a lace poncho by Drops Design.
Okay.
It's called Sky Love, and I'm going to use this recycled cotton.
Okay. Is it 100% cotton?
It is not. It is a blend. It's 75 cotton, 25 acrylic.
Oh, okay.
And it doesn't say the percentage of recycled materials, but it says that it's second time cotton from Knit One Crochet Two, and it's a worsted weight, but it's going to be a lace poncho.
Ooh, okay.
So you can do lace with a heavier yarn.
Yes, you can. Absolutely.
So we, and I actually made some swatches and things, so I'll show those in a
Yeah,
little
I didn't
while.
do that yet. I'm not even sure what I'm going to do about swatching. I mean, you know, really, you should be swatching everything. But I get a little lazy. So, you know, there are consequences to being lazy and not swatching is, you know, you're going to either start all over or you're going to end up something with either that's going to be too small or too big.
Right.
So I'm thinking that I'll start with either a left or a right side.
Well,
Knowing...
wait, what are you making though?
Oh, I'm making the, what am I making? The cable and lace duster that was in Vogue Knitting spring of 2016. So it's a little hoodie and it's a little mesh and cable.
Cute.
And the swatch is going to be just the part in the mesh.
Okay.
So what I might do, because I am lazy, but I'm willing to take this chance, is start maybe a left or right side and just go ahead and knit it and measure my gauge against that, knowing full well that if it does not match, I am going to frog the whole thing and start all over with a new needle. What?
So why wouldn't you just make a swatch?
Because I'm lazy.
Because chances are you're a gambler.
Chances are, you know,
chances are you're going to be okay, but
exactly more chances are likely that I will be on gauge because I know to go ahead and move down a needle size because I know I'm a loose knitter. I know the yarn that I'm working with, so chances are I'll be close.
So you're not just like willy-nilly winging it.
No,
you
I'm
have information that you're basing, you've got knowledge.
Yes.
You know how you normally knit compared to a standard gauge. You know the yarn you're using.
And I know I'm lazy. I'm just lazy and I'm willing to accept the consequences. Right?
Okay.
And it's kind of a baggy thing anyways, like a duster hoodie thing.
Yeah.
And I'm knitting the smaller size. It's you should see it. It's two sizes, small, medium, and then the large, extra large. So it's only two measurements, you know.
Yeah.
And so the large is a 51, which is going to be way too big anyways.
Right.
So
yeah.
it's just my gauge is going to really determine the size.
Okay.
So.
All right. Cool. So would you recommend that a beginner making their first sweater just not swatch?
No. I would recommend a beginner swatch because gauge before rage, basically, is what it is. And you need to accept the consequences, right? And a better consequence is to knit a swatch or crochet a swatch, wash it, and find that it didn't work. That's a good consequence.
Yeah.
Right? Because then you can start with the right hook needle and have a better garment. So
exactly.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay, so what yarn are you going to use?
Oh, so I'm using this Anzula. It's already ready to go. And it's called Vera, and it's a 65% silk, which is something that tends to grow, and 35% linen, which kind of stabilizes things just a little bit.
Okay.
So,
and it's a fingering?
It's more like a sport, and I think the thing called for a DK, so that's another thing. Gotta figure out. But our friend, Paulina, also knit this with so yarn.
Oh,
and so she's not quite done yet, so I do have that. I've seen it, and it worked. Okay. So we both kind of had the same idea at about the same time. So, and she started hers, but she's not done yet. So maybe I'll get her to enter.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So she's on Ravelry, so
she'll let us know. Cool.
Yeah.
All right, so the new Knit and Crochet Along is lace.
Yes.
The deadline's Labor Day.
Yep.
And 2017, and then we're starting when you see this.
Right.
And then the prize wise, we'll run it the same way we did the last one. We'll have a chat thread that you guys can talk about your projects, and we can talk about our projects, and then we'll have a no chat thread where you post your finished pictures.
Yeah. I don't know what we're gonna do for prizes this time.
I don't either.
Okay, we'll
have
figure
to
that
think
out. Yeah,
think
we'll
on
figure it
that.
out. You'll have to check the
We'll
the group.
definitely put it in the group.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. When we figure it out. But you should just join anyways.
Exactly.
Yeah, so.
Exactly. All right. Well, cool. So there's that. And then we picked our winner.
Yes.
What about, what are you wearing?
What am I wearing? Oh, that's right. So in the theme of lace, I am wearing my golden orchid. So it's
So
like
beautiful.
So it is done. Hi. It is
Here, I'll hold it, you
done with Freya lace in the merino. I think it's 75% merino, 25% nylon, and it's their ombre. So it starts here with purple. And Golden Orchids has a beginning chart and then a chart that you repeat until it gets big enough, and then an ending chart. And so I tried to maximize my skein here, and I missed. And so I ended up running out of yarn, so I used something else to kind of match the yarn at the beginning. And it worked out. I was like, I think 3 rows short at the end though. So it was quite a lot of, surprisingly a lot of yarn to have.
But I think that it's beautiful with this border on the end.
Yeah, it kind of outlines it.
It's nice.
Yeah.
It totally finishes it, and it's like you planned it that way.
Yeah, exactly. I planned it that way.
She planned it that way. So she saw, did you find this pattern?
It's
first?
on Ravelry.
It's free, right?
It's a free pattern on Ravelry. It's charts only. If you're a knitter and you don't do charts, that's all it is. There's no written instructions. So, you know, if you're a beginning lacer, I wouldn't recommend it. I'd recommend you try something else first, but...
Unless you have a friend
right, so
who knows what she's doing.
Right,
because
it was her first charted lace.
made it. And so mine was a little bit more work in the making. I used Alcedina yarn in this acid green up here, and then I had not enough, and I wanted to try and do some hand painting. This was very ambitious, and so I did the bottom in an ivory natural color of the same base that she had sent me, and there's pictures on my project page of what it looked like before it got to this beautiful version, because it was hideous when I tried to hand paint.
It turned out
But
great.
what I did was, where the orchids are down at the bottom, I painted those in a dark dye, and then it didn't look very good. So I took the whole thing and I held it like this, and I dipped it into the dye pot, and then I gradually pulled it out, and I just stood there and gradually, and let the bottom just sit until it covered up all my sins down here.
But yeah, you should check out our project.
It's really, I just love how it looks now, but in the beginning I was not so sure. And I'm really glad that we did it together, because I had no idea. I did the first chart and I'm thinking I know what I'm doing, and she's all, put your markers in and do everything. So I did everything she said. Then I go to the second chart and I'm trying to do it and nothing's lining up and I don't know what I'm doing. And I didn't realize that when you go to another chart that you should probably put the markers in a different place where they make sense on the repeats, because they're different repeats than the first chart. And I didn't get it, and I just was like, but.
I know, and the thing is, I am, you know, I am one of the yarn doctors at the shop, but the hardest thing for me is to, when someone's not getting it, is trying to find a way to explain it to them so they do. And sometimes all I do is repeat myself over, and I just say the same sentence, like it's gonna work, right? Over and over again, and I wait for that picture to be drawn in their heads.
I know, and I bet you could see it on my face.
Exactly.
Like, it was like this blank face, and then it was like, oh, I get it now.
Right.
So yeah.
So, okay, I'm gonna say it one more time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, I get it. So yeah, so I had to move, you know, because the pattern, the different parts of the chart.
Yeah.
You know.
The increases and stuff.
Yeah. So anyways, it was very, very nice to have a friend along with this little project.
Yeah.
But I am glad that, I think the knitting was really fun, and the dyeing was a learning experience, and I'm happy with the outcome.
Yay.
Yay.
Okay.
So there's that one.
That was fun.
Let's see. Oh, and then I'm also wearing something I finished.
Oh yeah, and that's also
It does have some lace here.
Yeah, and this is this worsted or DK? Worsted.
It's worsted.
Worsted.
It's a
okay.
worsted cotton. It's Reynolds Saucy. This is Deschain. And I'll put the designer in. It was, I think,
It's a hot right now pattern.
It is, and it's so fun to do, and it was total TV.
Do you think it's a good beginner knitter?
Definitely.
Beginner, like your first lace project, you think that's a good one?
I think it's a good one for first lace. I think it's a good one for first garment.
Okay.
Because it's rectangles that you sew together.
Okay.
And then you pick up the sleeves and do them in the round. But
Right. And
it's... Go ahead.
what size needle was that? You don't remember.
10.5.
Oh, wow, that's good.
Yeah.
Okay.
So big needle, it went quickly.
Okay.
There's not any shaping at all that
Okay.
you have to worry about. And you can put markers where your lace pattern is, so
Okay.
you don't even have
And this
to
is
remember.
a feather and fan lace, right?
Yeah.
And let's see, size 10 needle, and then is it charted or written?
It's written.
Okay.
Let me think.
Do you think
It's just written.
It's just written?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's just written out.
But feather and fan, there are a lot of probably charts out there. So you could always, go ahead and do this one with that, with whatever the pattern says. But take a look at a chart with the instructions next to it, so you can see and read it, so you can see like where the yarn overs are on the chart and how they fall on the garment.
Right.
So,
yeah. And there's you drop a yarn over to get some of these bigger, so there's a couple little techniques in there that would be
make it lacy.
make it lacy and but they're not hard. So I would definitely recommend it. Pattern's really well written, and it and I love it. I got so many compliments. I wore it to work the other day.
Yeah.
Like the day after I finished. I'm like, I want to wear it. And so it was fun.
Fun. Yay.
So that's one of my FOs, which is a nice segue into what are our finished objects.
Well, why
that
don't
we
you
have?
keep going? Because I only finished the fade. Because the fade was big and it took a lot of time. Plus, I was working on our Casapinka thing. So
Yeah.
Well, you have your Casapinka, yeah.
I do. It's not done though.
Yeah.
Let's see. So I did finish both of these Seascape socks that are listed as in my pattern, and they're just my vanilla plain old sock thing. And then I made these. Do you want to comment on my heels and cuffs and
No,
toes?
just because I didn't, like she showed them to me, and I thought, wait, shouldn't this be the toe match the heel? The toe match the cuff, and then the heel be, but whatever the pattern that I saw, which is the same pattern you saw.
I know. She's all the heels don't. They don't match. The socks don't match.
They don't.
But that's okay. They're gonna be worn to bed probably anyways.
Oh, okay.
Unless my husband wears them.
Okay.
He wants them really bad. He's like, can I have those?
Yeah.
But I did do the little mini gusset by the short row heel again, and I did 8 increases and decreases.
Yeah,
there.
so I was kind of wondering, what is that? That's for someone who has a high instep, maybe?
I guess.
I don't know.
I guess with a short row heel, the fit is not, like, you don't get as deep a pocket for your heel to sit in when you wear your socks. So when you do a heel flap and gusset, you have more space here, and the sock fits better. If you use just a short row heel, a lot of times it's too tight through here because you're not adding any stitches. So for me, this measurement of my heel across the top of my foot is 3 inches bigger than around the base of my foot or up here. So I added the mini gusset to give more room.
I think your mini gusset wouldn't work on a sock machine. I don't think so. I don't know. I haven't tried it. Because I just, when I use a short row heel, it's because I'm on the sock machine. And so half my stitches half my stitches are the heel. And then, you know, and then I just pick, after I do the heel, then I just pick up all the rest of it and keep going.
Yeah.
But I haven't had, it doesn't feel tight there. You know, that part of your foot where this part here, it doesn't feel tight for me, so I'm not sure if that's I don't understand that high instep thing.
Well, I don't know what part is the instep.
Yeah, see,
I always
that's the
thought
part I don't get.
this
Yeah.
part right here was the instep. But I wonder if it's over here,
Yeah.
and that's what that means.
And that's what that means.
Maybe somebody could tell us.
I don't know. Maybe we'll have to figure it out.
We'll have to look that
up.
I don't
know. But I like what you did. I mean, I see how that makes this, how this makes it bigger.
Right.
I just don't, you know, I don't have a problem with my cranked socks. My foot just flips right in there and they don't feel tight anywhere.
Yeah, I just noticed on this one, I did it on this one, but not as much. And I noticed it was kind of pulling. Like you could see the stitches were kind of pulling.
Yeah.
It's not uncomfortable.
Right.
But I just was like, well, maybe I'll do a couple extra and see. And then this, it seemed to be more uniformly fitting all the way around. So anyways.
Yeah, and if you understand that and want to let us know.
What's an instep? Exactly where is that?
and what a high instep is and the things that you do to modify your socks to make them fit for you, we'd love to hear about it. So if you're on Ravelry, go to and let us know.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm not.
Let all of us know.
Let all of us know. I am not this is like my third pair or something that I've made. So it's just they're fun to, you know, have that mindless stockinette going around.
Oh yeah,
and around.
with the printed socks.
Yeah,
printed
that's
yarn.
so fun.
That is fun.
Super
I like doing
fun.
those on the sock machine. So.
That's super fun. Let's see. So my other thing that I finished is my
Oh my gosh, her fade.
My giant fade
In crochet.
in crochet.
Alright, so where's that?
Let's see. So it goes this way.
Okay, there we go.
All right.
It's
So
just the camera.
it goes on and on and on here. Go this way. And there it is. So it is about the same size as a regular one would be because I knit part of the pattern and measured to see how my increases and decreases were going to go and how much of my lace I would need in inches. And then I could match just the inch measurements with my stitches.
Okay.
So that's how I figured out size-wise what to do.
And then what did you do?
So I used a half double crochet
For
in
the
the back
solid
loop
parts?
for the solid
For
parts.
the garter stitch parts? Okay.
For the garter stitch parts.
And for the lace parts?
And then for the lace part, I did a single crochet, chain two, mesh.
Okay.
And so that kind of looks like a yarn over knit two together lace mesh.
Okay, chain
kind of a
two
feel.
makes it bigger.
Chain
so we
two-
had to do the double yarn over. for
Yeah,
that.
so chain two gives you a bigger hole. And then the increases, I just increased a couple stitches on each side until I got to the point where you don't do that anymore in the pattern. I did follow the pattern, but I, you know, made my own key of when she says knit so many rows, that means crochet
so many
X
inches.
amount of inches. Exactly. And it was super fun, and I really, really had a good time. And it's so, I love it. I totally love it.
I know it's so. We'll have pictures of the scale of these puppies
huge.
against Kim because
This is 11 feet long.
Right, exactly. I mean, she's like holding her arm up.
And I'm
And
6
it's
feet
still-
tall,
exactly.
and it still
So,
drags on
I
the
mean,
ground. So
You know, you can just put them on top of me and bury me in them. I'm only 5'4", so.
So yeah, so it was really, really fun. So the it's still very light and flexible.
Yeah, it is.
It's not like, you know, stiff like some people think. Oh, crochet is so stiff. It's so dense. It's so heavy.
Fingering weight and a size what hook? Remember? Do you remember it all? We'll put that in there.
It's a fingering weight yarn, and I don't remember the hook.
Yeah.
But it might have been like an H or an I or something.
But it's all in her project.
Yes.
And
all the
we'll have
information is
links and full-size pictures.
Dun, dun, dun.
Dun, dun, dun.
So that was my fun. And I did get to finish it ahead of time because I took it on a road trip.
Yes.
And so I worked on it in the car for 4.5 hours. I sat on a porch and talked to my sister-in-law for hours.
While the kids were...
Well, they were all occupied.
With cousins and stuff.
I know, and I got to sit and work on this and chat.
Crochet is faster than knitting. It just is.
It is.
It is.
It is.
So...
Yeah, so that was my productivity.
Oh, God. And me? All I did was my fade. So let's see which
But
way
look
does this
at,
go.
oh my God.
I know. So we'll do the same little.
Okay, because the colors are just out of control.
And so I haven't blocked, and then my ends, I'll just talk about how I do that, why they're still here and I haven't blocked yet.
Okay, so let's do this.
So do that thing. So ready?
Yep. Oh.
There it is. I know, it just keeps going.
I love the colors.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. I know.
Okay, tell me about your ends.
My ends. Okay, so the way, I didn't like start out this way. Well, maybe I did. Because there are, ends whenever you change the yarns, and there are, 6 changes. I didn't want to have to deal with the ends later. Mm-hmm. So I would start the row, and I would have an end, and then on the next right side row, I knitted with both the new yarn and the tail.
Okay.
Right? And so that's this part sticking out here. And then I left it, and then when I finished it, on the knit the last row, knit with both the starting yarn, knit with both again on the next right side row, and then cut. And what I usually do, and other people do this that I've talked to, is I leave my ends in when I block.
Right.
Right? So I kind of block.
You leave them out.
I don't cut them. I block my ends in, right? And then I'll look at it after it's dry and then maybe do a little bit more and then cut them.
Okay.
Right, so that's why they're still kind of here, because I haven't blocked this yet. I haven't blocked this yet because I'm scared. I'm scared because it's going to be bigger. It's already huge. I mean, I put it on to take a picture at the shop, and I, draped it and put it around, and it was still hitting the ground.
Yeah.
5'4", and I look like Lenny Kravitz wearing that big blanket that he had.
Yes.
I think he was wearing a throw, I swear.
It must have been, because he's really tall, isn't he?
Is he?
Or is he little?
No, I think he is tall.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think he's probably,
I'm always fascinated by who's really tall in celebrity world and who's really short, because I'm so tall. So when I imagine myself, like, if I were to meet Tom Cruise and he'd come up to here on me.
Something. Yeah, he's small.
He's even shorter than that.
Is he really?
Yeah.
That's right. No, I guess.
So.
I don't know, but yeah, he is.
So that always makes me laugh. So when I'm reading magazines and I always think, this actor's so handsome. And then I think, wait a minute, he's like 5'8".
Yeah.
And then he's like, but I care because my husband's 5'8".
Everybody's taller than me.
I know, and everybody's shorter than me, so...
Yeah, so we'll have pictures of Ginger standing with these things dropping to the ground.
They're pretty cool.
So, yeah.
I think everybody else's are big too. I don't think we're unique.
No, we are. There are people who laid them on the ground and laid down next to them.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Because they couldn't, do that, and so it's funny. The schlankets, they are schlankets.
Yes.
Shawl blankets. So... it's fun. It was a lot of fun.
I really
if you
enjoyed doing
haven't done it, I highly recommend it. So
yeah,
it was good.
Fun.
Yay. Whips.
Okay,
Let's talk about whips. So I haven't finished anything because I've been starting a bunch of stuff, and I still have things that are on the needles. I know, languishing, because I get excited. I see a yarn at the store. This is bad. This is the bad thing about working in a yarn store. Something comes in, you're like, I want to cast that on right now. So I really like brioche. Really, 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 really like brioche. So I was thumbing through CKAL's Magalog, and they had this cowl. And it was, don't turn it, yeah. So it's so soft. It's done. I'm using Anzula Squishy for the pink yarn. And what this CKAL magazine was promoting was the edition 3, Shopple's edition 3 yarn. So see how this, I don't know. And
is this this is from the Zauberball people, right?
These are the Zauberball people, yeah. So edition 3 is a DK version of Crazy. So,
it's so soft.
I cast on and then realized I needed another skein, and so now I'm on my second second ball of the edition 3, and then still have plenty to go. Yeah. So it's going to be like this rolling thing on my neck.
Nice.
Yeah, so that happened.
Do you think you're gonna have a class on that?
Yeah, I think it's a good beginning brioche class. Because it's in the round and it's just the rib and the yarn kind of does all the design for you.
And I heard you tell somebody that the cast on is just, oh, I see.
Yeah, it's a rolled,
single colored.
It's a single color, like 6 rows of stockinette.
Okay.
A regular cast on, so you don't have to worry about a 2-color cast on at all. And it's, it rolls on its own, and it's stretchy. Yeah. So that's good for beginning too, because that 2-color cast on, that could be a class in itself. Yes, it can. It does. I do teach it when I do the 2-color brioche with the patterning. But yeah, I tell people up front, okay, this is going to take half an hour.
Right.
So don't worry about not getting it, because it's just going to take half an hour.
Yeah.
So, so that is Channeled Colors Brioche Loop.
Okay.
And it's in edition 3 and Anzula Squishy.
Cool.
So, and then my Goldfish Memory, because see, this is, what I've been working on, including trying to finish the fade. I'm so glad I finished the fade though, because I would have been embarrassed if I didn't finish for my own knit-along. But here's my Goldfish Memory.
Ooh, pretty. This is the Casa Pinka.
Yeah, it's a knit-along that we had at the shop. It's now done, but I didn't finish. But I wasn't the only one that didn't finish. So we did have people finish, and some of the things were really neat. I like the different colors.
And I think what was her name? She did 2 things.
Well, yeah, I guess she did. Yeah, there was somebody. There's always somebody who does a couple things while I'm, halfway done. But yeah, this is done in Tosh Merino Light, in Dirty Panther, Gemini Twins, and Cactus Flower. And so I'm on this lace section now, and it's just pretty easy lace section. So she has a charted a chart for it, and also written instructions for the lace. And the lace is in 2 places. It's here in the middle and then at the very end.
Yeah.
So, and she has like slip stitches, color changes, and I had fun with that. And I think I did the same thing with the ends, maybe. I don't know. Yeah.
So that's a good way to learn to read charts, is if you have a written instruction and a charted instruction, and you haven't done charts before.
Right.
Because you can do the written and look, you have reference.
Yes.
So it's nice to be able to
go back and forth.
Double check, make sure you're learning the charts correctly if you're doing it on your own.
Yeah. Okay, and then I'll do that one later.
Okay.
All right. So what are you working on?
I also have my Casa Pinka, which look at how tiny. So talk about not finishing for your own knit along. This is how far I got, because I said, well, I will save it to work on it on the knit along nights.
Right.
And then I'd be chatting and looking at everybody else's stuff and
not doing
anything. And then when I'd go home, I'd think, oh, I should save it for the night. But then I also want to do this or do this or do this.
Right.
So I was just letting it sit. So, but I do really love the pattern, and I love how it's turning out.
Yeah.
So
I like it too. Yeah, and just so you know, our crochet alongs at the shop run 2 months, so you have plenty of time to finish. But
it's every other night. I mean, every other week. Once a week, every other week. So four meetings.
4 meetings for 2 months. But you could work on it like on.
Of course, you could work on it on. And normally I would. Normally I would totally finish.
Right, but
I didn't.
It's not about finishing.
I know.
It's about socializing and sharing. We're good at that.
Let's see. So I am, and then the other thing I've been working on some new designs. Some
Really?
Scarves.
Okay. What do you have?
And some mitts.
Okay.
So those are worked out, done, written down, but I need to get them into legible form so other people can test them out.
Oh, right.
and
I'm
stuff.
supposed to test out one
So
of yours.
other people can test them out.
Right. So I was supposed to. I'm a tester and one of our patterns, and I haven't. It's on my.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, good. Okay.
Yeah.
Just so long as it's on that.
On my radar.
Okay.
Yeah. There you go.
So we have a pattern, a great knit scarf pattern, 6 simple scarves by Lisa Knits.
Yes.
At the shop that we want to teach as a class because it's very popular. It's great technique.
It's the next thing you do after you learn casting on, casting off, knit and purl.
Right. It's a really, really, really well written thing. And then we thought, well, we should have a crochet version. And so rather than going out and finding
different crochet, we wanted like something similar to that.
Yeah, like a comprehensive little group. So I came up with four or five.
Yeah.
I can't remember. Crocheted scarves that each have like a different stitch, and that could be a companion pattern. So when we do a class, we can have knitters and crocheters in it at the same time.
Yeah, we've done that a few times. We've done the chevron blanket in knit and crochet, and we've done a lace top knit and crochet.
And we did the crazy shawls.
The crazy shawls knit and crochet.
Right. And it's fun to get knitters and crocheters together in the same class. So it's nice because then, and we can teach both at the same time. It's not...
You were the only ones though.
I think Chris could do both at the same time.
Oh, that's right. But
she could.
Yeah, she could. You're right. Yeah.
So, but I think we're the only ones that like really promote it.
Yeah.
Let's see. So I'm also making a charity blanket.
Oh, look at that.
For Project Linus.
Big thing in yarn.
I know, isn't that fun?
Yeah, I love the colors.
And
pink in it.
I know, it looks like ice cream. So just a granny stripe, like Lucy from Attic 24 has a good granny stripe blanket
cute
pattern. And it's just something simple. And I really thought I would get this going because summer's coming and my kids are going to be out of school. And so far they're not yarny people. And they probably never will be because their mom is a yarny person. But this would be something easy for them to do because all you do is the 3 double crochets in the hole. You don't have to figure out where to put your hook. You don't have to do anything. So I thought, well, if I could get them going and they could do a row and then I'll do the turning just so that they had an option of something if they wanted to do it. But I've been working on it. So, but we'll see if they want to do it. I think it would be nice for them to make a Project Linus blanket for other kids. So, if they don't do this particular thing, maybe I'll have them do the fleece blankets.
Okay.
You know how you do the fleece?
And you just tie the ends.
Yeah, kids like to do that too. So that's my other...
That's your summer project with the kids?
One of them.
Yeah. That's great. So you saw our last episode was at Green Planet Yarn, and Green Planet Yarn is a official drop-off for Project Linus. So if you've got, if you're local and you've got kids or yourself that want to donate, look up Project Linus on the web. They have a website, and
all the parameters of what it needs to be made out of and stuff.
Exactly.
Suggested patterns even, but yeah, so that's nice to have for kids.
Yep.
Who need things.
Yay.
Yeah. Let's see. My other... You might want to help me, actually.
No. Yeah. Junimond!
Love the sweater pattern. Love the design. Love the yarn. Love the pattern.
But you changed it.
Well, I did try to do it in DK, and it's written for fingering, which is fine. So I separated out the sleeves and had tried it on before I did that and thought it was going to be good. But then I put it on and the sleeves were like 2 inches too big. They're huge. So I am wondering, so the pattern has you cast on under the arm. Mm-hmm. And I did cast on less stitches than what the pattern says because I'm using a heavier yarn. Mm-hmm. But what do you think? Do you think I could just come back to this point and not cast on so many?
Exactly. Just because
this
really
opening is huge.
Right. So if this is 2 inches, then, you know, that's perfectly fine to have, you know, here's her gusset for her arm gusset. It's perfectly fine to just have 2 stitches right there. I would just cut it to 2.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
If you, as long as, you know, this is forgive for this part right here. So if you know you have enough,
right,
then go ahead and just give yourself a little bit, but you don't have to give yourself a lot.
This has been sitting in timeout for like 6 weeks because I
got stuck.
I did get stuck, and I like every few days I'd be like, I'm just gonna frog it. I tried it on and it was fine, and then I did this next part and now it's too big, and so I just kind of, but then I'd look at it and I'd go, oh my god, it's so pretty.
Right, and then another thing to consider also is make sure that this width here, right, is still gonna be big enough.
Right, well when I tried it on before I did this part, this underarm to underarm here, it fit fine.
Okay,
across,
then you don't
and then
need
the
that.
Sleeves fit fine here.
And that's not, you know, this is probably a consequence of changing the yarn. You know, maybe in fingering you would need a bigger underarm gusset.
Yeah.
But for DK you don't.
Yeah.
So.
Well, and so then I also forgot to stop increasing. There's a point on the sleeve where you stop increasing.
Okay.
But again, because I'm using a different yarn, that point in the pattern...
It's going to be different.
It was totally different. So I just kept increasing because I didn't get to that part.
Right.
Because...
Right. Well, you know, I think, yeah.
And so I didn't know, do I have to come all the way back, like, up to here?
No.
And redo this part? But we think...
I'm thinking just get rid of this.
If I just go back an inch, and then you said how many? 2 stitches for under the arm?
2 stitches for under the arm, and that's it.
Okay.
Because you said it was 2 inches that you're each?
It's, yeah.
Okay.
So that should be, okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I know, don't prog the whole thing.
I know, well, you've given me hope. Now I feel like, okay, I have a plan of action to make it work.
So the neckline still looks good, though.
The neckline does, yeah.
Okay.
I'll try it on for you after. You can
double
check it for me, but I think it's good. So, okay, cool. Thank you. Okay. I feel better now. I do. So silly.
Cool. Should we get to lace now?
Should we talk about lace?
Let's kick it. Lace, lace, baby. Lace, baby. All right, stop.
Woohoo, lace!
We got a lot of lace.
We do have a
about,
lot,
don't
yeah. We do.
All right, let's see. What do we want to say? Should we show some examples?
Yeah, let's see, why don't, you have little swatches that go into a little more detail, and I just have garments, so we'll start with me?
I have some full things too.
Okay. We want to start with the full things?
Yeah, then we'll talk about swatches.
Okay. Do you want to go?
Sure. Okay, so lace-wise, I have the Crocus Bud shawl, which I made kind of as a scarf, and this is made out of a true lace weight silk, 100% silk yarn. And what I did on this one, I finished it, I blocked it like really, really, really hard. It actually needs to probably be blocked again. Then I went back and did the little edging and the bottom in a smaller hook that was more true
to the yarn.
Size to the yarn.
Okay.
The hook I used for the body of it was a lot bigger. But then I went back after I did the blocking and did the edging. Okay. So that was a little bit more finely
And this is done in a variegated.
It's a variegated, hand-painted. It was Claudia hand-painted silk.
Oh, pretty.
Yeah.
Yeah?
So there's that one. And then I have this, which is a great first or beginning crochet. Scarfy shawl pattern. So this is by Tamara Kelly.
It's that artfully.
Moogly.
Yeah,
Moogly.com. She has tons of free patterns on her blog. She's got really well written tutorials, and she's just quite an asset, I think, to our little crochet world. So this is the Artfully Simple Angled Scarf. And this is one skein of Casbah. And I think I've made like 5 of these.
Yeah, it's been popular at the shop.
Yeah,
you
we have a sample
in the shop.
and people go, wait, what? And some of the knitters who don't do both are like, wait, I don't knit, or I don't crochet, I can't do it. But a lot of people like the fact that it's one skein, and it's really, it's chains and double crochets. It's just on a bias.
Yeah.
But it's worked lengthwise on a bias.
Yeah.
So see. Dun dun dun. But it's really fun to wear. It's just very loopy.
Pretty.
Okay. So there's that one for some easy lace if somebody wanted to do something that they weren't quite as ambitious
shows the yarn.
as
It shows the yarn
perhaps
colors nicely.
this one.
Oh yeah, that one's a little more involved.
This is quite a bit more involved, but it's actually... So this is Bernadette Ambergen, and this is Wisteria, and this is in Tosh Prairie. So it's written out, but it has charts as well.
Oh, I love crochet charts.
Yeah, super fun. And so there's like 3 different charts, I think, because see, there's a pattern here, there's a pattern here, and then the edges, the border. Look at these. Isn't that beautiful?
Yeah. So this one is crocheted this way. Right? This way.
Back and forth on the short row, and then you do the edge border, and then you come back to the beginning and you do the other edge border. Okay. I believe.
Okay.
Or wait, is it starting in the middle?
No.
No.
This, yeah, because this one, I see the legs. It's this way here, because I see the legs. And
then this one. So yeah, so you go back and you go to do the other.
Yeah, and so this is still this way, except for, yeah.
So this was super fun.
Yeah,
I love her patterns.
The tonal yarn that
this
shows
is
the
Tosh
pattern.
Prairie. And so this would be a very light fingering. It's not quite a real lace weight.
It's close.
But it's close.
It's close.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I did a couple things on this one. I did some post stitches instead of some working into the stitch, because when you block out, you pull, you can see like crochet is naturally angled.
Yeah, when you go back and forth, it's this way and that
your
way.
Stitches,
and this way and
if your one stitch is going this way and one's going this way and you block it, that's gonna really can emphasize that angle sometimes. So if you do like a post stitch around the lower stitch, like for a puff or something like that, then it'll sit more straight.
Okay.
But anyways, that's just something I found out when I was trying to figure out what this was going to look like when it was blocked, because I'd lay it out and I'd flatten it and pull it, and then I'd be like, wait, ew, everything's all like pulled out of shape and there's one string instead of a nice little tied up stitch. So that's why I did some posts, especially around here with these long pieces. This is a post stitch right here.
Yeah,
instead of just a regular one.
Yeah, you did that with the eddies, our eddies.
Yes. Yeah.
So
I did. So yeah, if you don't like how your crochet stitches are pulling apart, then maybe do a post stitch instead of working into the top of the stitch.
Okay.
That's my tip for the day.
Yay!
So those are some examples of lace that I have
All
for
right.
crocheted lace.
Okay, so I have both knit and crochet. So let's see. Grab them all. So here I'll start with the crochet one. This is from 101 One Skein Wonders.
Okay.
This is the crochet one. So it starts here and it's this little semicircle, and it's both charted and written. I followed the chart because I love crochet charts. I like charts in general. Crochet charts are a little different than knitted charts. They actually, oh, I guess, they have symbols for stuff.
Yeah, but the symbols look like the stitch.
They really do.
So
Yeah.
it actually looks like a picture
Of the lace.
of what you're doing.
Yeah, a little more than the charts for knitting.
Yeah.
Only the yarn overs look like the stitch. That's it.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So
Pretty.
there's that. That's fingering weight cotton that I did. That was like my first.
Oh, that's cotton?
Yeah, that's cotton. It's a Pima
nice.
cotton. It's kind of light fingering.
Cool.
Pima cotton.
Pretty.
Yeah. So I have that. I have this, which is we'll put a list of all our garments in the show notes. This is knitted, and it starts here at the bottom, of this part. And then this main part is knitted, and then the border is crocheted. And this is DK. So, and I think it was charted again. The crochet thing was charted, but I didn't really understand crochet charts, so I kind of made a mistake or something. I misread it. But I still got an edge,
Yeah,
so I
it's
think
pretty.
it works. So
That's really pretty.
But I think it's wrong. Whatever I did is wrong, so I didn't follow it very well.
How wrong can it be?
Yeah, it worked.
Looks like it's right to me.
Yeah,
That's really
so
pretty.
that's something you could do with crochet. What else do I have? I fully knitted things. Here's an easy knit shawl. It starts here with a tabbed garter tab start, and actually this is one of my patterns. Yeah. So that's that. It's a very easy lace with little beads at the end. Optional.
Can you buy that on Ravelry?
You can buy that on Ravelry.
Good.
And this one also is just an example of lace with variegated yarn. So a little heavier yarn, sport weight. Don't remember what this was. San Francisco base. So the Parrot Hill. What is that?
Oh yeah.
Parrot Hill.
Wild parrot. I can't remember.
Whatever. So that hill. So
Yeah.
see the colors are like parrot colors, and then this is like supposed to be like feathers.
It's so pretty with that braid. Cable braid.
There's a
thing.
cable braid on the edge here, and it's the same cable that's down the middle here. So
That's so cool.
yeah, some Telegraph Hill.
Oh, Telegraph Hill. Yes.
Telegraph Hill. So the parrot. There's a whole documentary on the parrots
Uh-huh.
on Telegraph Hill. So it's kind of neat.
That is cool.
Yeah.
So you don't have to have skinny yarn.
Absolutely
to make
not.
lace.
No. It's just, planned holes.
Yeah.
That's all. Yeah. So, and then this one, everyone's in love with these ombre cakes, right? Gradient cakes. So this only has the lace. Well, there's these holes right here.
The
See
little
the little
eyelets.
eyelet holes. But the lace is basically on the bottom. So
That's really pretty.
it kind of, accentuates the ombre, kind of like,
Yeah.
this one does.
Yeah.
Right. So
That's cool.
stockinette and lace at the edge.
Yay.
And, just to play, this is from a book. So this top portion of this card holder is a crochet lace that just ended up being a closure for my little card thingamajigger.
Cute.
Yeah, it was leftover yarn, and I just kind of wanted to play with something.
Yeah. Very fun.
Yeah, so lots of lace. We love lace.
We do. It's fun.
Yeah.
So let's see. So let's talk about
The
a little bit of...
technicalities of lace.
Well, how about some blocking stuff?
Yeah, sure. You have something.
I do. So I did some swatches for my lace poncho that I'm going to do. And I did these two, just a different hook size. And so they're very different in terms of the length and what the stitches look like.
So one was washed and one wasn't?
These are both,
Different hooks.
yeah, different
Okay.
hooks. And then this one was not blocked at all. And this I did in the hook that I decided I'm going to use,
Okay.
which is the smaller one, but it wasn't blocked, so it's a little bit more crunchy and the stitches aren't as straight. But it really did...
So you based your final swatch on these? Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah, because just the hook being bigger here, the stitches looked a little sloppier.
Yeah.
And then it looked a little better to me over here. And size-wise, according to the gauge, even though it's quite a big difference lengthwise, the actual double crochet stitches, it was kind of almost the same. So it's the poncho's kind of 2 rectangles.
Oh, okay, so it's not gonna matter as much.
Not gonna matter as much, and it's like size small medium, size medium large.
Right, same as mine. Yeah.
Yeah, so it won't be as big a deal in terms of the actual size. So I can figure my measurements when I do my beginning chain and stuff. So, but I did like the look of the stitches better in the smaller hook, not as messy.
Yeah.
But talking about blocking for knitting, and this is cotton yarn too, so crochet anyways is going to look a little bit neater and not need as much blocking necessarily. Like my wisteria definitely did need a lot of blocking because it definitely needed to be opened up. The holes need to be opened up and stuff. But for lace, knitted lace, there's a dramatic difference in the blocking versus the non-blocked. This is the same size needle, the same stitch count, the same pattern, same everything. And so we have a little crumpled up guy over here, and then we have a nicely laid out, opened up. You can see all the yarn overs, the knit 2 togethers, the slip stitches, everything really pops when it's
lace is
blocked.
really improves with blocking. So if you take a look at my project on Ravelry for this, I took a picture of it when I was blocking it. So I laid the shawl down before blocking, and then I pinned it out, or pinned it out, and so you could see how big it actually got. I took 2 pictures, so and it's all like
crunched up.
It's all crunched up, and you would never wear it that way.
Yeah,
you would definitely want to.
And if you're making a stockinette sort of, like for this, I blocked this before I sewed it together because I wanted to make sure sizes. Well,
it's
it
easier.
had side seams.
It's straighter to block the pieces first.
Yeah.
And I'll definitely be doing that for my my little duster for this next knit along. Because it is in pieces, and I'll definitely block out the pieces before I put it together.
Yeah. It's definitely, I mean, I wouldn't not block something. And when you're doing a swatch for something, if you're knitting it, you should block it and let it dry and then measure your gauge.
You should.
You should.
You should.
We have that little demo we did on the Green Planet group.
Oh, right. Yeah, there's a project. We'll put that
link to
project
that.
on there. Yeah, of what we do.
How to block things and
soaking is
it's
really
not
important.
scary.
No.
I think sometimes people think it's a huge production and they're afraid of it. It's like cables. It's like the first time you do it, you go, oh, wait, is that all there was?
Yeah.
I thought they were so hard.
Yeah.
But blocking is not, and it definitely, I've never seen something become worse with blocking.
That's true. Yeah.
But your fade might end up being 20 feet tall.
It'll be, yeah.
If you block that,
I'm not going to block it out.
Yeah.
I am just going to, set the stitches.
There you go.
Is basically. So, another thing that you can do with your lace, if it's the first time you're doing a chart or the first time you're doing something in lace, is a lifeline.
Okay.
Yeah. So if you have the easiest way to do it is if you have interchangeable needles, there's a little hole there's a little key that you put it in there to give you a little leverage to screw this in. You can put dental floss in there and knit your row and then untie it. Just be careful with when you do it that way, you have to use removable markers or else you lock your markers into your lifeline.
Okay, so you put a lifeline through the stitches. So a lifeline is just a piece of extra dental floss or crochet thread or something smaller than what you're working with.
It kind of saves your loops where you are in knitting.
So if we put it here and then I kept knitting and I made a mistake,
you would have saved those stitches, and you can go back to that without
I could take out all my
them.
work and the the lifeline in there would just stop and hold everything in place.
Yeah, because like other, like cables, lace, the stitches actually move.
Right.
So you can't just drop a stitch to fix it. You may have to frog. So having a lifeline gives you a spot to frog to.
Okay. And so you don't have to worry about things just falling apart. And if you have lots of yarn overs and things in there, that lifeline will hold all the yarn overs in place.
Yeah, like so for this, I mean, I didn't use a lifeline. But
I did.
I should have.
I think I had like 5 going through my shawl.
Exactly. So there's, because there's that one chart that you could repeat multiple times. A good place to put your lifeline is at the end of that repeat. So that if you think you went too far or didn't go far enough, you could frog to that point. And since I didn't have a lifeline, I had to carefully frog to what my rule is, frog to 2 rows before, and then tink back.
Okay.
So it would have saved me tinking, and tinking is knit spelled backwards, so you're taking off each stitch one at a time. So, so it would have saved me a whole heck of a lot of time if I would have had a lifeline. I could have just frogged to that repeatable section, done an extra repeat, which is what I did.
Yeah.
And then continue with the next chart.
Yeah.
So.
And for mine, whenever I got through a successful repeat, I put one in because if I would invariably make a mistake because it was one of my first bigger lace shawls and I was constantly like off by certain things. I'd forget a yarn over, I'd do an extra stitch. So every time I'd do a successful repeat, I'd put in a lifeline. So I had it like probably every 2 inches, and I left them there because I thought, well, if I get up here and I figure out I've made a mistake, I can pull it back to this one, and then I can keep going back up again, and it would just save my spot each time.
Yeah, yeah.
So.
And then lifelines aren't really necessary in crochet, are they? They're not.
No, the only kind of thing, because you just pull it out one at a time.
Yeah,
it's just one stitch at a time.
And nothing unravels. I mean, it's just that one stitch that it's linear.
Yeah.
Where it goes.
Yeah, it's not all these live loops all at once. They'll just kind of fall apart if you take the needles out.
Yeah, and then if you're not using interchangeable needles, you just thread a needle, a tapestry needle, with your yarn and just pull it through your loops before you begin the next row.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, so new acquisitions?
We did get a couple new little things. We'll move away from our finished stuff into the realm of possibilities.
All right.
So, let's see, what did you get?
I got some Hanalei yarn.
Yay!
Right? Did you get some Hanalei yarn?
I got some Hanalei yarn.
So Hanalei is a yarn that we carry at Green Planet, and they're sweet enough to send samples for us to try.
Yeah.
And Beth is nice enough to let us play. So this is, you want to do yours?
Yes, this is a cotton bamboo, 49% bamboo, 51 organic cotton, fingering weight, and it's...
What's that color?
Kauai Red Dirt is the name. So Hanalei yarn, she's based in Kauai. And this is, I only know of one other Hawaiian dyed yarn, and I got it in Maui. And I can't remember the name of it, but there's not a whole ton of yarn dyeing, and I'm sure that like the wool fleece industry over there is probably not very big because it's so warm all the time.
Yeah. But so the cotton bamboo
But
works.
look how pretty.
It's very pretty. So mine is a lace weight, or no, it says fingering, but it's really a light fingering, because 150 grams, 600 yards of a silk merino, 50-50 silk merino, and this color is called Sunrise Over Oahu.
So pretty.
So.
Just the names.
I know, it's so
Hawaii.
pretty, yeah.
Love Hawaii. Yes, so those were fun. Let's see, and I went to Chico.
Yay!
So what does that mean? That means a trip to Heartstrings.
Yay!
Yay! And so I got some crazy bright sock yarn.
Woohoo!
This is Plymouth Yarn's
Neon
Now. And it is a 75-25 wool nylon.
Mm-hmm. Nice.
But I just love how
that.
bright it is. I think
very
it's
bright.
gonna kind of ombre back and forth.
Mm-hmm.
So I got that because the last few times I've been in there, I've seen some of they had a couple different colorways in neon sock yarns, and I was like, they're so fun. So finally got one. Let's see. And then I got a Fido, which is somewhat local to Chico. Northern California yarn dyer. No.
God, that's
So,
lovely.
Isn't
What's
this
it
beautiful?
called?
It's called Miami.
Ooh, pretty. It looks like, palm trees
Isn't
and pink
it
flamingos.
beautiful? So yeah, so I got this.
You were thinking of me when you got that. I know you were.
And then, so this Fido, so she lives
In Chico.
she lives near Chico.
Okay.
So then Heartstrings had some yarn being sold on commission, which was dyed by a new dyer who took a class at Heartstrings with the woman from Fido.
Okay.
And started dyeing her own yarn.
Okay.
So I bought a skein
Oh,
called
Wow. Hookers.
Heartstrings, and I got it for you.
Oh my God, look at that. And it's called Hooker's
Hooker's Corner.
Because you know.
I know. So she named this one after the shop.
So wow, thanks.
Yeah, you're
So
welcome.
silly. And then I have just one more thing. A bag that I made, but that's not what it is. I've been kind of getting into let's see, that was the new things, new tools. Tunisian crochet.
Ooh.
So that's the hooks that I'm using, and I'm really liking them, is the Knit Picks ones. It took me, I couldn't decide which ones to do, but there's a bunch of, you need something that has a cable, and this has those interchangeable things. So Knitter's Pride makes them, and Knit Picks makes them, and I think they're actually made in the same place in India. But this is the Knit Picks one, and I like the deeper cut in the hook. It's kind of nice. So the thing with Tunisian is when I crochet something with some yarn, I always go one size bigger than what they recommend for knit. I know you just do the same. I usually, if it calls
starting
for
point, but yeah.
like a 7, I'll go up, to an H, I guess, or an I for crochet, rather than a 7, or there is no 7 for crochet, but with Tunisian, it's 3 times bigger.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you have, these loops here. Like, Tunisian is kind of like knitting crossed with crochet.
Yeah.
The way you work, you're working a crochet chain through these loops.
And so it's a lot denser than
It is
even
a lot-
regular crochet, right?
Yeah, it is a lot denser.
So you really go bigger on the hook.
You go way bigger on the hook. So I had to buy,
You had to.
I
Of
had
course.
to buy the bigger hooks. I got the set.
Uh-huh.
But I had to get the bigger hooks because 3 times bigger for something, so I went all the way up to
wow.
an MN13. So
Big.
So that's my new.
Fun! Look at you.
I'm loving
learning
it. It's
stuff.
so much fun. So.
And then when you're done learning it, you can teach me.
Yay!
Very fun.
Wow, that was a full episode.
Definitely.
Wow.
I'm tired.
Whew. So,
I don't know if anybody's still awake who's watching, but
we're still having fun here.
Yay!
And we hope you are too.
So thanks so much for joining us. Any questions, post them in the Ravelry group, and don't forget to join us for the Knit and Crochet Along,
Yes,
the lace-themed Knit and Crochet Along, and subscribe to us.
Yeah.
And then you'll get a little notice
For
in your
when we-
email when we put a new
Video
episode
up or
yeah.
something.
Yeah,
Say hi.
that's awesome. Well, I think that I'm ready for a nap.
I am too. So, okay. Well, I guess we're done.
Yeah.
So say goodbye.
Goodbye.
Bye.